Alright, well, what's up, guys? Logan here with MOP. It is September 3rd, and we are roughly 3 days away from the expanded archery season here in the state of Maine. And wanted to take a second here to kind of do a gear dump for you guys. So what I wanted to do is kind of show you what I typically pack in for an archery hunt, or even for a rifle hunt for that matter. Kind of go over the pack, obviously the equipment that goes into the packs, go into camera gear, camera stuff, and just kind of give you a big overview of what we typically take into the woods. So without further ado, let's get into it, and we'll show you what we got. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to go over here is my packs. So I've got 2 packs. Typically years ago I would run a backpack, and that was kind of like my go-to thing. The older I've gotten and the more that I've tried to minimalize the amount of stuff that I bring into the woods, I've gone more to like a fanny pack. So the first pack that I'll grab here is I don't remember exactly what it's called. Oh, it's called the Outfitter series. So this is the Cabela's Outfitter series. So it's a really it's a bigger all-day pack. It's got a big front or big first pocket. It's got plenty of storage. It's got a side pouch here. Let me see what I actually got in there. Oh yeah, so I got a big can bleat call there. Let's see what else I got in here. I got a grunt call. I got my headlamp. I've got actually another strap that's for basically when I hang and hunt. I can put the strap above me in the tree, and then these hooks act as, just supports for my bag or a grunt call or whatever I needed it for. So that's pretty much what I got there. And then I got a bow rope in one pouch. And then obviously one of the most important things that I'll ever take to the woods is milkweed right there. And I got that just in a medicine bottle, just to keep it nice and dry. Kind of a nice little tip. I used to put it in like a plastic bag, but when you're opening that up and it's cold, it crinkles. This I can pop off, no problem. I also will bring, just a bow hanger with me in the stand. That's obviously for the mobile setup, truthfully. I wouldn't really have to have a need to bring that into a set stand or something like that. So, yeah, so that's pretty much what I got. But yeah, that's basically, if I'm going to go, sit in a tree stand, whether it's a set stand or if I'm going in filming, this is the pack I will bring. My other pack you'll see is a little bit smaller, but for the most part, for an all-day hunt or, filming wise, that's pretty much what I'm going to bring right there is the Outfitter pack. It's the 1200. So it's a really nice pack. It's served me well. And like I said, if I'm filming, this is the pack I'm using. So the other pack I have is my rifle pack. So this is another Cabela's. I honestly have no idea what it is. It's an older pack. I would say it's got to be 10 or 15 years old. It's a really solid pack. I think in this one I got primarily just a lot of rifle stuff. So I've got a brawler grunt tube there. I got my, let me see, let me put that down. I got my pouch that's got my my rounds in it, my .06 rounds. And one of the most important things I'll bring when I'm rifle hunting, and probably I ought to bring, truthfully, when I bring, archery hunting, is some TP. Pretty important there. This one only has just a big pouch. It's got a front pouch, and then it's got a side pouch. The only other thing I'll bring too is a marine radio. That's what pretty much everybody up at deer camp, that's what we use right there. This thing works really good. It's got great service, great range, especially when we're up in the big woods. And trying to see what else I got in here. Yep. And then see what I got in the side pouch. And then the side pouch on this side, which is just a quick access, because usually it sits on the back of me, so I can easily come down and zip it, pull it out, and that's just another bleed cam. But that's pretty much it. The only other thing I don't have in this right now is a, actually I wonder if oh no, I got it right here, is I have a miscellaneous bag right here. So this has, it's got a lighter, it's got a Sharpie, it's got like all season matches, so it can still be struck even when it's wet. I mean, obviously if it's drenched, it's probably not going to work, but if you get it, you know, on a good striking surface and you got minimal wetness, they still will strike. So that's more of like emergency purposes. I don't think I'll ever have to use it, but as much as we hunt up in the big woods, I mean, anything can go wrong. God forbid, you know, you hurt yourself and you got to wait for help. You can easily start a fire with this stuff, and that's why I pack it. It's always for just the emergency. You'll probably never use it in your life, but the one day that something does happen, you have it. So that's pretty much what I got in my rifle pack. Next thing I kind of want to go over is my hang and hunt setup. So minus the pack and minus the bow rope and all that stuff that you just saw in that one pack, basically everything that I'm going to pull up here is what I've used in the past and what I'm currently going to use this year. So the first thing I'm going to go over is my platform. So this right here is the Tethered XL pack. As you can see, like that's my hand compared to it. It's a pretty good sized platform. To be honest, the smaller version would be plenty. But being a guy that's come from sitting in an XL stand my whole life pretty much, this is a little bit more comfortable for me because I can actually stand on it and pivot and have room, so to speak. But what I would typically do with this is I would put my sticks to this, strap it, and that's pretty much what I go in with. I don't have a big pack. I'll have my fanny and then this, and that's it. I don't carry anything else. Everything that I have can fit in that fanny pack. My sticks go up here, and it just makes it a little bit more ergonomical for me to go in with that. But it's a quick release there. It comes off, slide it out, and then that right there is the Tethered XL Predator platform right there. That's the first gen. To be honest, it's a really good platform. I really like this model. Obviously they've come out with a bunch of other ones now that are, I think they're like carbon and whatnot, so they're like a touch lighter. But to be honest, this weighs nothing. It's honestly a really good, you know, platform that I've really come to like over the years, and I should be getting the smaller version of the Gen 1 here shortly. I know a buddy of mine, he was thinking to drop it off for me so I could have it, and then I think Ryan's going to try to use that this year. So, but that is basically the platform that I use, and I love it. So now we'll go over to the sticks. So this year I upgraded. I am now using the Rival climbing sticks. I believe that these are 17.25 inches. Very compact. They got the double step, which is definitely something that I've been looking for. In years past, I've used the Lone Wolf 32-inch sticks, and those ones are every other. You can pick which way they go. But when I'm up in the stand and I'm having to set up a platform, I can put both feet on the stick instead of just having one and having to wrap my foot around it or have to have my legs split to cover to have enough surface space. So that was a huge upgrade. Really excited to use these. They're actually fairly light as well, and they're made by, I think it's Trophy Line. Trophy Line makes these, and for the price point, honestly, they're a great stick. I cannot wait. I really don't have a ton of experience using them as of this point because this will be my first year, but really looking forward to using them. So the only other thing for my stick wise is, I believe like 4 years ago, my father made a custom aider. So basically it's PVC piping and just really good climbing rope or just high grade rope that he basically, you know, tied together, and it's a two-step. So basically you step here, step there, and you're up into your first stick. So I probably will only have to run 3 plus this, and I can get up to, you know, 10 to 12 feet, which is ideal hang height. But honestly, for me personally, it's just I hang where there's cover, or I hang where I gotta be to kill the deer. And as you guys can probably, you know, kind of relate to that as well. But that's right there is the aider that I use. This just gives you a little bit more support when you're stepping. It's a nice little setup, and again, you could go to Tractor Supply and you can build your own, honestly, instead of buying an expensive, you know, tethered rope or whatever other aider that they make. And I'm not saying that they're not good, I'm just saying that this was just a cheaper route. Now that we've got the sticks and the platform out of the way, I'm going to talk saddles. So today, I am going to show you the very first saddle that I've ever bought, and that is the tethered Phantom. I do like this saddle. I've had it for 5 years. It's a really good piece of equipment. I killed my first, actually last year I killed my first deer out of the saddle. You know, it is really nice. I'm not gonna lie, it is a nice saddle. The only thing I don't like about it is the narrowness of the actual mesh of the saddle itself. I have experienced some pinching in the past in my hips, and for me personally, I would like something that's got a little bit longer length. Again, you could buy the back support, so that could help you a little bit more. But for the most part, I actually upgraded to this other saddle that I'll show you in a minute. Again, it's like the pros and cons. So this is a great saddle. I mean, for somebody like Ryan, he could easily use this. Trey, my buddy Trey, who's also on the channel, he could easily use this and get into it. I think it's a great starter piece of equipment for somebody that's looking to get into saddle hunting. You'll quickly learn that, you know, you might need a little bit more support, or maybe this is going to be a perfect fit for you. I don't know. But again, I've used this for many years now. I like it, but I went and searched for something with a little bit more support. And so yeah. So this year I am going to be running Buzzard Roost saddle. And I got to give him a huge shout out to John Dykstra. He is a buddy of mine that's cut up my deer for the last, I don't even know, probably 5 or 6 years now. Really nice guy. He got me onto this saddle here. Really had a lot of praise. You very much highly suggested it. And I cannot wait to use this year. The cool thing about this saddle compared to the Phantom, and I mean, Tethered now has come out with a double panel, but this is a true double panel saddle. So this upper part, you could easily, you know, release this so it can go further up your back, or you could tighten it so it's all one piece, but it's a bigger surface space on your lower to your, you know, bottom of your hamstrings for when you're actually in the tree. So, and the other cool thing is that it's got a quick release on this for your bridge, so that you can easily, you know, tether it up, or you could tighten it more instead of having to, you know, sit there and let it get loose and then you have to tighten it up. So it's a really nice quick system. Again, I don't have a ton of experience with this yet, so hopefully at the end of the season I'll give you guys even a better review on this. But these guys out of Louisiana really do have a great product going. We're not sponsored by them any means. We do kind of have something in the works, but obviously with sponsorships and stuff like that, you know, you got to build a relationship first. So you know, I bought this with my own money. You know, I didn't get any, you know, aid to get it. So really looking forward to this saddle. I can tell that, you know, just putting it on, it's very, very comfortable. So I cannot wait to try this and see how well this performs this year. And I guess the only thing left that I will really talk about for the mobile setup is a pair of these. Now you might think it's funny, but to be honest, these sometimes can be an absolute lifesaver when you're in the stand. The first year I hunted out of a saddle, I tried to find ways to, you know, manage my time so that I didn't have to wear out my back, or, you know, get really pinched for too long and then my butt gets numb. And I found that laying my knees, which I did some research, and you can actually put your knees to the tree, and you can almost let the saddle just kind of hold you in like a hammock almost. And these right here are lifesavers. I don't always use them, but if I'm going into a spot and I'm going to be there for a while, I will definitely wear these, and to kind of give me some relief when I need a chance, or like when I need a break. Or very effective, and I definitely will be using these this year. So just another something to keep in mind. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to get into is camera equipment. The camera that I'm filming with right now is the Sony a7 III. Very good camera. I think it's like the entry level, so it's around, I don't know, it might be just under $2,000 or it's like $1,800. It's right around there because it comes with a lens, so I think that's where they get you with an 18. I can't quite remember. But I have it paired with a fourth arrow satellite arm. So this has a 3-jointed arm that can completely go around, plus with the fluid head. It's a very ergonomic arm that you can pack in basically my biggest fanny pack. I can put this in there, and as well as the base that they've just recently come out with. It's a very nice base, definitely refined. They've done a really great job on, you know, trying to minimize the bulk, because the first gen's bases that Fourth Arrow came out with were very bulky. They were heavy. I mean, they're basically like all metal. Now it's still a lot of metal, but it's a condensed base. I mean, you can see like that compared to my hand. It's a lightweight. It's so much better, very much lighter. It's strong, and it's basically held together by just this buckle here that you basically, you know, you put it in like this, and then you clamp it down. So it's a really nice system. It is, I will say, it's a little pricey, but honestly, if you're looking to get into a camera setup and camera arm, this is by far the best company that I have seen with camera arm equipment. By far the best. And I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying from experience, this is the best equipment that you can get. By far. The next piece of equipment that I've got, I guess the only other main camera that I have is a Sony a7 IV. That's my main camera. I've got a 70mm to a 350mm lens on it. It's got a viewfinder that I can pull out from the camera. I can flip it, I can turn it around, and that is just by far the better option for self-filming. This is going to be more of like a backup camera slash B-roll recovery camera. Maybe at some point, if I can get another lens, Ryan can use this in whatever, but for the most part, like, this is going to be strictly recovery, you know, beauty shots, B-roll, that kind of a camera for me. The only other cameras I typically use is a GoPro. So this is, I think it's the GoPro, I think it's the 10, the Hero 10, but it's got the package where you have the light, you've got the speaker, which enhances the audio, and then it's got the housing. It's a really nice setup. And then I got it just on a clamp arm so that I can put it up behind me, or I can put it to my side, or wherever it works. And then I've got the old school Hero, I think it's the Hero 4 Silver, I think it's the Silver Plus or something like that, and that's just on a clamp that goes, typically I only use this clamp if I'm hunting out of my saddle. I can clip it right onto my rope, it's looking right at me, and then I can get that other view from the front or from the back, and then on my main camera, so I get 3 camera views, and that's pretty much it. These are really, really handy. They really do capture a different angle, which really does give your video a little bit more of like a dynamic feel, and it's really changed the game. I mean, now there's Insta360s. I mean, there's so much now compared to when I started, and it's really changed the game. And the only other thing that I will give you guys that is really changed the game for me is this right here. This is a wireless remote for the Hero 10. This right here saved me on so many deer encounters where in the past I would have to reach up and click it, whereas this, I can have it on my bino harness. I can hit that button and it turns it on automatically, so I don't have to have wasted movement. I can just grab my bow or get the camera on them, grab the bow, and it's go time. So this right here, I think it's like 70 bucks, but I'm telling you, it is worth every penny. This is an awesome piece of equipment, film equipment especially, that has really changed the game for me. Alright guys, that's a wrap. I really hope you enjoyed this gear dump today. Again, I just want to reiterate that, you know, I'm not going to say that like my setups and everything is the only way to go. It's not. You know, over time I've been able to refine my gear and find what works best for me, and trying to go light as possible has been the biggest change for me. I used to pack in heavy, you know, with a stand and a stick on my pack, and now I've gone to minimal stuff. So I really hope that, you know, you can find some education with this, and maybe there's something that, you know, a piece of equipment that you could look into to better your filming experience. And that's ultimately what I want. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We finally surpassed 2,000 subscribers, and we have to give you a huge thanks. You know, you guys wouldn't make this possible, and we truly appreciate every single one of you. And we will hopefully see you guys tomorrow, and then on Saturday. So we'll see you then. Thank you.